Hello and welcome back to my other video. Today I'll be talking about the difference of the way of learning between winning traders and losing traders. And after watching this video, you will exactly know what you have to learn first and towards what direction you have to keep learning in order to be a constant winning trader. So let's get started. Among all the Forex traders, it's said that 10% are winning traders, 20% are break-even, and the rest of 70% are losing. But those who are constantly losing, they're not just sitting around without doing anything, right? Of course, they have been studying, reading some books, or watching some videos, or going to seminars, and they take lots and lots of effort and time to build knowledge in trading. But the fact is that there are people who cannot win constantly. Actually, I myself had gone through those times when I was constantly losing and giving away my asset to the market, and that's a painful time that everybody might go through. And everybody thinks that they want to become a winning trader as soon as possible to live better life, travel around, or pay off their debt, or whatever the reason might be. But the real problem is that when you keep studying the way that's incorrect, no matter how much you put your effort on it, it doesn't take you anywhere. And that's the point I want to mention today. The difference between winning traders and losing traders is, of course, what they're doing is different, but what they study and how they study is also different. Now, look at this diagram. To be in a winning group, basically you should learn three major things that are technique, strategy, and tactics. And the reason why losing traders always lose is that because they continue to study this technique part only on this left side. Techniques are just like weapons in the battlefield, but oftentimes losing traders keep changing their weapons to find the right one. Like oftentimes they tend to keep changing indicators and its parameters and looking for a right setup to be able to identify the future price actions. Now, I'm not saying that the indicators are bad, but what matters is you keep putting lots and lots of effort to find the best indicators that would work for you. I'm saying this because, in fact, I myself was like that too before for almost half a year when I started trading, and I can clearly say that it's meaningless. You will never find a holy grail and never constantly win trades in this way. That's for sure based on my past experience, because like you see on my live trading, sometimes it works but sometimes it doesn't. Also, when you see some catchy ultimate techniques or methods out there, they're just introducing some techniques all based and rooted on some indicators after all. Techniques are useful when making a precise entry with the right timing for the purpose of increasing its accuracy, but I clearly say now that it's not necessary for successful trading because you can still win without any indicators, and that's the secret. So what's more important skill than techniques for a successful trader? I will tell you the most important one, and that's this tactics. Tactics is the scenario to achieve your objective. If you cannot come up with your own scenario, you cannot trade. And to create your own scenarios, you need to be able to analyze multiple time frame charts. As you know, there are charts from micro 1 minute to macro monthly or yearly time frame. And everybody in the world, every trader looks at any of these time frame charts and trade. But you have to have a skill to be able to see a chart in multiple time frame for one single currency pair, and need to be able to synthesize those charts to have multiple viewpoints. This is the primary and the most important skill. The second important element is the strategy. Strategy is like a project, so to speak. For example, let's say you think of how the price will move. You need to know the characteristic of the wave to be able to identify this. But for example, when you look at a chart and think, oh, looks like the price is moving up this way, so I will place buy here and put stop loss here. Or you look at a chart and think, oh, it looks like it's in a range between this price and this price, so I will trade it with the range strategy. You see, the way you trade will obviously change if it's in a range or if it's in a trend. But either way, you need to be able to analyze and recognize the market situation that way. So I put them up here. Like I said, techniques are the indicators or some methods out there, and strategy is the wave, like Dow theory or Elliott waves, and tactics is multiple time frame analysis. And again, basically you don't need any indicators to read a chart. You can identify it just by placing resistance or support lines or channel lines in multiple time frame charts and expect where the price might extend or stop. I remember I was putting lots and lots of indicators before because I thought they gave me lots of useful information and looked just cool to me, looked like I'm a real trader or something. But after that, I deleted everything. I even deleted the colors on candlesticks, just all plain white, and trained myself for trading, and it actually gave me lots of insights. When you learn trading, think of when you drive a car. You're not able to drive it before you learn how, right? But after you learned it, you can do it now. And in this analogy, the techniques in Forex are just like a speedometer or tachometer, so to speak, in a car. You can visually see how fast the car is moving or how fast the engine is rotating. But you cannot drive a car just by looking at these meters only, right? It's very dangerous. So what the strategy in the middle on this diagram means is that it represents that you can operate handling, acceleration, and brakes, and you can use them accordingly. And what tactics on the right side means is that they are the sense of cars around you, like the sense of current speed, like the ability to be able to recognize if there's any dangers around, like the ability to sense the environment around your vehicle. And the more it goes on the right side from techniques to tactics, the more it becomes difficult to master and it takes more time. But when you think of driving, there's no one who drives the highway just by looking at the meters right in front, not looking cars around, right? If your friend drives like that, would you be on the passenger seat? Of course not, right? Because you will be so worried all the time. Rather, you want to be a passenger of a driver who looks front, back, or both sides and also have a sense of speed that's adapted to whether it's on a highway or a narrow local road, depending on the situation. Now, good news is that in Forex, I'm not telling you to become a professional F1 racer to be able to win constantly as a trader. To be successful in trading, the required skill level is just the same level as driving a car normally, like everybody else does. It's not actually that difficult, right? If you don't drive a car, think of riding a bicycle. It's not that difficult, right? But to be able to drive yourself in trading, you have to learn in a correct manner and get used to those skills. One of the reasons why I'm taking this video is that I found that the majority of the information on the internet about Forex trading belongs to this left side of the diagram, like how to use the indicators or introducing some golden methods, and people keep staying on this side, on this technique level. To me, they're just like a copy or a catch, and believe me, you can never make a living by these techniques. I was once looking for techniques and found some indicators with some nice and sweet words, like this technique has 80% winning rate, or this method got 100 pips in a week, and on and on. Just like a holy grail, because I was too lazy to study the strategy and tactics part. And it took me like over half a year to be able to recognize, oh, this is not it. So for those who notice that technique cannot let them win constantly, they start to learn the right side. But unfortunately, there are those who never notice it and keep looking for a holy grail and stay on this technique side forever. They just keep staying and studying this side. And at some point, I realized that it's such a waste of time. So that's why I'm creating a video like this. Because, I gotta tell you, I bought a lot. I mean, I think I've invested like $10,000 on indicators or on EA or on a millionaire signals and so on. And the fact is that I kept losing. Of course, I won at times, but overall, I lost money. So for those who watch this video, I don't want you to invest your precious time and money on such things and don't want you to feel like I did. And that's why I take live trading videos, because it proves that I know what I'm doing. Also, people teach how to read a chart, where to place orders, where to cut loss. But first of all, there's no truth in a past frozen chart. And sometimes there are those who teach but never show how they trade before or what kind of results they've got, from their teaching trading strategies. And to me, that's like they're just saying some techniques from books but never trade it real time. And that's why I record videos of how I trade live and upload them, because that becomes a proof of my words. Anyways, I will talk about that in other videos. So again, I'm not saying that the indicators are bad, because it allows you to make it easier to understand and recognize the current status by the signals they produce. Like if you are a strong soldier, the indicators will be your great weapons. But first of all, you yourself have to become a strong soldier. Otherwise, you cannot articulate those strong weapons. You don't want someone weak to hold some strong and heavy weapons, right? Actually, what indicators are good at is that they enable you to be able to identify current market environment visually from different angles. So eventually they become useful. But if you cannot be break even yet, I recommend you to focus on the strategy and tactics. Like try to see the bigger picture of the currency pair with bigger time frame, support and resistance lines, trend lines, and try to identify where the current price is at among those different time frames. If you look at a Forex chart, time is horizontal and price is vertical, right? The tactics focuses on the whole picture of the chart, like where exactly the price is at, like whether it's far or close to particular lines. Then strategy will be like if you see double bottom and you think it's buy, or you see head and shoulder chart pattern and you think it's sell, the price action. Then the timing, where exactly you place a buy or sell position, will be determined by, for example, the Bollinger Bands, moving average, Ichimoku cloud, or stochastics, or whatever the indicators to specify the right place and increase accuracy and your confidence. So like I said, trading is just like driving a car, and the right way of practicing is essential to be able to drive smoothly under any circumstances. Don't just throw a ball without thinking anything. Don't just look at a chart and place orders immediately, but keep practicing in a right way and train yourself every day. Then your constant winning ability will grow and it becomes your lifetime treasure for sure. Alright, thank you for watching my video. Please press a good button if you like this video and make sure to subscribe for my future videos. Cheers!